Hi everyone. Can you all please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Excellent. So, hi everyone. My name is Steve Vinod Senthil, and I would request you all to use the chat option available to confirm if I'm audible. You can just type in yes if you're all able to hear me. Excellent, excellent. So, wonderful. So, I see quite a lot of audience already on the session, and thank you for the previous speaker. The complete audience have been very energized and very motivated, and it's over 5:15, and I see the strength they have in replying me on the chat. So, thank you for that. Okay, so let me give you a quick briefer about me. My name is Steve Vinod Senthil. I'm the founder of this company called Infisec. And can you all just confirm me if my screen is visible? Can you all please
Yes, sir.
confirm? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
excellent, excellent. So I will keep using the chat option available till the end of session. So I request you all to kindly be available on the chat option. So in case of any question or you want to ask me anything, any doubts or anything that I'm going to be covering for the day, you can quickly post me the questions there, right? So for the time being, I'll get started. Can you confirm if you're all able to see the presentation slide? Excellent, wonderful. So I'll reshare this once again. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so here you go. Right. So my name is Steve Vinod Senthil. I'm the founder of this company called Infisec. Infisec is primarily an information security, cyber security focused company. And I personally have done close to around 450 presentations across the world. And I have close to around 2 million YouTube views, and I have over 13 cybersecurity awards. And most of them are Asia Book of Record, India Book of Record, World Assist Record, etc. I am also fortunate to be an author for 13 cybersecurity courses, out of which we have close to around 3 lakh subscribed users from 220 plus countries across the world. Right, this is a quick briefer about the certifications and recognitions that I have. In 2019, I was also noted for the top 25 most valuable startup CEOs of 2019. Right? Okay, and let me also, yeah. Excellent. I will. Okay, excellent. Next one. Okay, I am known in this industry for finding 0 days from popular websites. Okay, what is a 0 day vulnerability? I'll just give you a briefer about what is a 0 day vulnerability for your information. 0 day vulnerability means I find a bug on and the application hacked. Okay, till the time the company fixes that vulnerability, fixes that bug, and I'm not able to hack, till that time this period is called the 0 day period. Are you all able to follow what I'm saying? Can you all please confirm? Please type in yes if you're all able to confirm. Excellent. So I also have been actively participating on something called the bug bounty programs, popularly called the bug bounty programs. What are bug bounty programs? Bug bounty programs are very interesting programs where if I'm able to find a bug on your application or your network and I'm able to hack into it, I'm able to hack into your system or your network or your application, I report that to the respective company. Okay. When I report it to the respective company, I'm actually telling them something very critical, right? So instead, they should actually have a cyber security team, cyber security analyst working for them to find this. Now, as a third party who is from the internet, who is giving this important information to them, these kind of companies reward me. These kind of companies give me money. They give me some kind of reward to say that, hey, your vulnerability that you found is very important. Thank you for telling this. You understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Excellent. So this is called the bug bounty program. Bug bounty hunting is what they call it. Okay. I have found bugs on popular sites, including of Xiaomi, HP, IBM, Microsoft, etc. Okay. I have got rewards from different scales of rewards. Number one, I have from Xiaomi. They rewarded me with the neck pillow. I'm sure most of you are aware of what a neck pillow is. Neck pillow is nothing but when you travel, you use a neck pillow, right? So MI, popularly known as MI, they awarded me with some neck pillow. I was so depressed seeing that. Okay, and on the contradictory Microsoft, right? I found a very important critical bug on Microsoft and reported to them. They rewarded me with close to around 25,000 US dollars, 25,000 US dollars. Very interesting, isn't it? Right? So the process of me identifying bugs and reporting to the respective organization, they reward me with certain fund, maybe money or recognition or something like that. So I used to do that as a college going kid, right? I'm for your information, I am a Anna University graduate. I'm not from Anna University. I'm from Velamal Engineering College, but under Anna University. I'm a 2006 passed out engineering student, and interestingly, when I was finding these bugs, I was doing my final year of my college. Right, I was doing my final year of my. I had this flair of finding bugs, flair of finding interesting, uh, so-called hacking points in the network and gain access to it. Right. Okay, so the few of the popular ones are Joomla, WordPress, etc. I found vulnerabilities. I also found very critical vulnerabilities on popular sites, including of BSNL, Bitdefender, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Media, etc. Am I clear? Okay. Can you all please confirm if you're all able to follow me? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so this is how I got started. For people who would like to hear this, you can just quickly see this very interesting slide. There was a time when I was doing my 12th standard, right? That's when I got started playing computer games and all. And there was some random hacker whose name is Mr. underscore X underscore hacker. On that point in time, you had something called Yahoo Messenger. Today we have GChat and WhatsApp and all. That day and all, you didn't have that, right? So what happens is there was one person called Mr. underscore X underscore hacker who hacks me when I was doing my 12th standard, who hacked into my computer and very interesting. He had there's so much of drama happened there, but you might want to do a YouTube search saying my name Central. You will hear the entire story of how I got hacked, right? But apparently, the time I got hacked by that person, I wanted to know how he did it and how I can retaliate back. Right? Let World War One was fought with chemicals. World War Two was fought with missiles, and it is expected the World War Three will be fought with computers, data, and the internet. How many of you agree? Please type agree. I repeat, World War One was fought with chemicals, two was fought with missiles. It is expected that the World War Three will be fought with computers, data, and the internet. Wow, interesting. Okay. So, how many of you will believe that if I told you World War Three has already begun? What if I told you World War Three has already begun? Let me tell you this. Donald Trump was elected as the president of the most powerful nation called America. Yes or no? Not now, about little earlier, right? The interesting part is, do you know about how he got elected? How many of you heard about Facebook's influence on how Donald Trump became the president? How many of you are aware of that? How many of you are aware that Facebook, Google, etc., where Cambridge Analytica, excellent, Deva, as Deva says, Cambridge Analytica is the company which used Facebook, Google, Twitter, and other advertisement mediums to influence one's decision making process. You understand what I'm saying? right? So, say for example, okay, if there are methods in which I try to influence you, will you get influenced? Obviously, yes, right? So there are methods to influence one's decision-making process. For example, say you like uh, A.R. Rahman for his music or Ilayaraja for his music. So what do? You have liked their Facebook page, right? You have liked their Facebook page. Having said you have liked their Facebook page, now I will promote an advertisement through their Facebook page saying vote for whoever. You understand, right? So what happens is I am able to influence people's decision making process. Correct? Imagine the most powerful nation of this world, America. The most powerful person of that country, the president, is elected because of a popular hack by company called Cambridge Analytica, which is a private company. Wow. Isn't it interesting? Yes, you are correct. It was close to around 3 to 4 years ago, right? Okay, please pay attention. So this particular slide you might want to see a little later. Very interesting one. You can actually see how I, as an individual, got started, how I got hacked, how I got started with the company, and how today I have close to around 300 plus clients across the world, out of which I have at least 50 plus Fortune 500 clients, right? Okay, so before I get started with this particular slide, which is more of a technical program, right? So let me show a very interesting video. I want all of you to pay attention to this video. And I want you all to pay attention to this video because there is something very interesting that you might explore here. Okay, there is something called, okay, there's something called the phishing attack. What is phishing? Phishing simply means I create, okay, imagine I ask Mr. Daniel EJ, okay? Mr. Daniel EJ, if I ask you your credit card, will you be kind enough to share me your credit card? Daniel immediately says no. Okay, interesting. So I want you all to note this. When you are saying no, right? If imagine I create a page that looks exactly like irctc.com, or okay, and in that page I'm asking you your credit or debit card information. All right, what are the chances you would give the information out right now at that point in time? A 50-50 chance, right? So we will see some very interesting attacks like that. But before that, that is popularly called the phishing attack. Like phishing, you also have something called the wishing attack. Wishing is voice over phishing. Okay, please pay attention to this very interesting video, and then I will get started with that. Please pay attention to this very interesting video. Please confirm.
But they're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some?
Yeah.
See if it works?
Yeah, we probably could have our star Visher here make some phone calls as
Let's do it.
Sure. Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider
Okay.
and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. my my husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for uses information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
gmail.com?
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry. So there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
I really thought that my cell phone company would protect me. I mean, like.
Okay, can you please confirm if you were able to follow that video? Can you all please confirm if you were able to follow the video? Wow. So this kind of attack is popularly called the vishing attack, where attacker tries to impersonate someone else by spoofing their phone number and trying to retrieve some very confidential information. Usually they try to change one's password, etc. Right? How many of you would like to see another very interesting video? Very interesting video. Excellent. Please pay attention to this very interesting video. Okay, this is about a person called Max Hacker, MAXHACKER. So what he does is, you will see a very interesting story of how he hacks into a network, and he makes YouTube videos of how he does that and hosts it on the public. Please pay attention to this very interesting video.
We staan hier in de file, uiteraard. Wacht. Ik heb hier een live verbinding met de verkeerscentrale van de ANWB. Dat gaat via een open channel. En daarmee kan ik dus de verkeersborden beïnvloeden. Hier, ze staan nu op 50. Maar we rijden nooit 50, dus ik maak er 5 van. Kijk. Zijn de mensen niet blij mee? Om ze toch een beetje blij te maken. Smiley. Als ze daar niet vrolijk voor worden. We zijn hier uit de auto gestapt. We staan nu langs de snelweg. Jullie hebben de matrixborden gezien. Maar hier kan ik wat meer tekst op kwijt. Ja, daar komt ie. Ik denk dat ik toch wel een schouderklopje verdiend heb. Dat gaan we even als volgt doen. Komt-ie? Het leukste is, als mijn foto op zo'n bord terechtkomt. Dat ben ik. Staat hij er? Staat hij er?
Okay, I'm sure you saw this very interesting video, right? In this video, you can actually see a attacker live putting his own face on a public digital hoarding, right? How scary is that, right? Yeah, it looks like Watch Dogs game trailer. Okay, and I'll also show you something very interesting about him. It says the FBI is going to catch him. Something very interesting about a particular person. His name is Max Hacker. What he does today is, FBI is not going to catch him. I'll tell you the reason why. He today handles US Navy's, I repeat, US American Navy's cybersecurity team. Wow, imagine that. He handles the cybersecurity team of the America, right? And the interesting part, another very interesting video. In this video, the same guy tries to hack little more than what we usually think can be hacked. Please pay attention to this very interesting video.
Ben ik weer. Bedankt voor al jullie enthousiaste reacties. Helemaal top. De grote discussie bij jullie. Is het nou echt? En ja, het is echt. Ik sta hier voor het gebouw van Deltaloid. Die hebben ooit een reclame gemaakt over 2 zogenaamde hackers die de hele stadverlichting uitzetten. Het helemaal donker. En dan leek het mij leuk om juist bij Deltaloid te laten zien dat het in het echt is ook kan. Ik heb hier mijn iPhone. Daar heb ik een programma op geïnstalleerd. BX. Dat programma, daar kan ik de besturingscommando's van het X10-protocol aanpassen. Betekent dat ik straks de lichten kan uitdoen van het gebouw achter me. Komt-ie.
Wow.
Het werkt!
Wow.
Kijk,
Imagine
5
that.
uur jongens,
Wow.
op tijd! Naar huis! Zet hem weer aan. Zie je de Rembrandttoren daarachter? Hoogste gebouw van Amsterdam. Genoeg licht om uit te doen. Komt-ie. Kijk nou, ik zet hem weer. Oh. Genoeg gekkigheid. Dit is dus wat je kan met de IT.
Wow. Isn't this video? Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm sure you all were able to see this video, right? Please confirm me if you are able to see this video. Excellent. Okay, now there's something very interesting we saw. We saw how a end user uses his small little mobile phone to do something very big. He was able to switch off the whole skyscraper. He was able to switch off the paper. Now the interesting part here is there are 7 layers of the OSI model, and each attack happens in a different layer. Right? But right now, I have managed to collect few very interesting data together. Okay, before I show that slide, I want you all to think of this. Yeah, I want all of you to think of this. I want you all to pay attention to what I'm saying, right? Number 1, what am I saying when I say the word Kavi Kano Kat Kase Kan Kati Kal? I repeat, please try to understand what I'm saying. What do I mean when I say the word Kavi Kano Kat Kase Kan Kati Kal? I don't know Hindi. Absolutely. I swear I also do not know Hindi. Your name, sir. Wow, not bad. Okay. Like what you said, yes. I just tried saying my own name. This format looks gibberish, but it is not, right? Let me tell you what I did. Please pay attention. Very interesting one, right? I said Kavi Kano Kat Kase Kan Kati Kal. This is what I said. Yes or no? I said Kavi Kano Kat Kase Kan Kati Kal. Yes or no? Right? What I have actually done is I try to change or I try to insert the syllable called ka between every alphabet. Please pay attention. Okay, I just paste it here. What I do, I remove ka. I remove ka. I remove ka. It's become, ka. Ka. Excellent. We have actually said my own name called Vinod Sindhil in a certain format. So it looks little different, right? Okay. Now, interestingly, what we just saw, right? What we just saw is saying my own name in a certain format. Yes or no? Yes or no? Please confirm. Excellent. Now what I'm going to do is, please pay attention. I'm just going to take this slide. I open google.com. Okay. Please pay attention and please tell me when I open google.com, right? I'm going to search for a very interesting keyword called Rajnikant. Can you all please tell me how many results have we got? Please tell me how many results have we got? And how many seconds was the result? I want you to type that in the chat option, please. 2,20,070,000 in 1.06. Correct? Okay, I am going to do the exact same thing once again. Now, please tell me how much results do we get? Am I clear? Okay, please pay attention. I am opening google.com once again. I'm typing. Okay. Please pay attention of what results we get right now. Wow. Why? What has happened now? It says your search Rajnikant did not match any documents now. What is this one then? It says Rajnikant 22 million or something in 1.06 second. This one says zero matches. Why do you think this has happened? Spelling difference. How is it spelling difference? Rajnikanth. Rajnikanth. You excluded results for Rajnikant. Of course, I didn't do anything like that. See, okay, look at this. I close this. Okay, this page. Okay, you see, I'm refreshing this page. You get these many results. All right, I'm just replacing this search itself. It says zero now. So I did not exclude any results here. Yes or no? Wow, Vardhan says you hacked Google, sir. Of course, I do not hack Google. Any idea? Okay, search algorithm stupid. No, not really. See, okay, I will just show you something very interesting here. Okay, I want you to pay attention. I open in Windows, there is an application called Character Map. How many of you have seen this application called Character Map? How many of you have seen? Please type yes if you have seen. Wonderful. Okay, Character Map is the default application that is hosted on any of these applications. All right. And the interesting thing is you find a lot of alphabets which are visible here. Yes or no? Are you all able to see this? There's so many alphabets. What I have done is, here I have searched for Rajnikant. You're correct. But here, this one, what I have done is I have not searched for Rajnikant. I have searched for something that looks like Rajnikant. Simple. How to access Character Map. To access character map, click on the start button, type character map, you will get it. Okay, it usually is located under accessories. So for information. Okay, so let us see what I have done here. So what I've done here is I go all the way up here. Here, I am actually opening up the character map, scrolling all the way down till I find something that looks like a. Now I copy this character. I copy this character. Now I replace this A with this A, this A with this A. But the truth is, the alphabet they have selected is not A. It looks like A, that's all. The actual A is available elsewhere. Am I clear? Now look at this, what happens? Wow. Are you all able to understand? Please confirm me if you are able to understand. Wonderful, right? So now, please pay attention. What I do is I go to my website called vinodsenthil.com. For anyone who wants to ever follow me, know what do I do, etc., right? How I support and what are my clients, all that information. Everything is available on vinodsenthil.com, including of my courses. Okay. Now the interesting part is I want you all to pay attention to this address bar. Please pay attention to this address bar. It says, please zoom and see. Please zoom and see. You can see vinodsenthil.com. Yes or no? Please confirm. Excellent. Now, all I'm going to do is, please pay attention. What am I seeing right now? Please pay attention. What is this website? What is the difference between this website and this website? Can you please tell me? Excellent. Sarvesh Kumar. Perfect. Says I is different, sir. The alphabet I is different in vinodsenthil.com. See here, vinodsenthil.com. Look at this I. Do you see a small dot? Yes or no? Do you see a small dot here? See here, it says, please pay attention to this website URL. Is it vinodsenthil.com? Check the spelling. Check the I on the spelling. In fact, it is this one. How many of you are able to follow what I'm saying? Are you all able to follow what I'm saying? Please type on the chat option available. Excellent. Okay. How many of you? Okay, let me show another quick, very interesting video. Not video. Please pay attention. I go to google.com. In Google, I'm searching for Vinod Senthil. Right? You are able to see a lot of links here, right? But I want you to pay attention. When I move the mouse pointer here on the first link, what do you see on the bottom left? Bottom left side, what do you see? Please pay attention there. What do you see on the bottom left? It says the URL, yes or no? The URL of the website, sir. Can you please tell me what is the URL? Can you please tell me what is the URL? Yeah, you're correct. It's Uniform Resource Locator, correct. But I'm asking what is the URL for this particular link that I'm keeping my mouse pointer on? Please pay attention. When I'm clicking, keeping the mouse point on that particular link, what is the URL saying? It says https://. Yes or no? https://. You're correct. Now, I want you to pay attention. Okay. When I'm keeping the mouse pointer of any of these links, Can you please tell me what is the bottom left you see? Which site is it going to go if I click on this link? See in the bottom left? In the bottom left, yes, it says it will go to Wikipedia, correct? It's called the status bar. Look at this, something very interesting here, okay? I'm keeping the mouse pointer on this particular link, okay? I'm keeping here. Where is this page going to open? Which page is going to open now? It says bankofamerica.com. Yes or no? Yes or no? Please pay attention. I'm going to click here. Let us see what happens right now. How many of you see this website, Bank of America's website? Can you all please confirm if you are all able to see Bank of America's website? Excellent. Please tell me how many of you are able to see the HTTPS icon? Excellent. Can you all please tell me how many of you are able to see the green color icon, lock icon, green color lock icon? Wonderful. Okay. For all of us, we have always been taught saying that anytime you see a HTTPS website, it means it is safe. Yes or no? Right. But let me tell you, whatever you're seeing right now is not even bankofamerica.com. It is not bankofamerica.com. Whatever you're seeing right now is a page that looks like Bank of America, but not Bank of America. You want to see? Please pay attention. I'm going, keeping my mouse pointer. Do you see a small lock, a cross icon that comes? Yes or no? Did you all see? I'm taking the mouse pointer in the center. Do you see this cross icon? Yes or no? What does that mean? Any idea? Okay, when I open YouTube and say I'm playing some Thor video and say I'm taking the mouse pointer to the center of the page, do you see the same cross icon? Yes or no? Yes or no? See this? So what happens is, it's called the full screen API. Okay, full screen API. Look at this. This particular X icon that comes means this page is a full screen API. Okay, meaning in YouTube player, you in the bottom right, you see the full screen API. When you click on it, it actually maximizes. Yes or no? Correct? Okay. Now, having said that, I click on this. Let's see what happens. See this? It says don't get fished. You are looking at a fake OS and the browser UI. Wow. So whatever you just saw is not even Bank of America's website at all. It looks like Bank of America, but not Bank of America. Can you believe that? Yes or no? Okay. So how many of you are able to follow? Can you please confirm? Are you all able to follow what I'm sharing? Okay. So there's a very popular saying. They say there are only two types of people in this whole world. Two types of people. Number one, people who know they're hacked. Two, the type of people who do not know they're hacked. I repeat, there are two types of people. People who know they're hacked, people who do not know they're hacked. Meaning, ultimately, both the type of people are hacked some form, shape, or figure. Am I clear? Yes or no? Right? Okay. Please pay attention now. I'll take this slide, very interesting slide here. These are some very interesting history of attacks that have happened in the past. I managed to collect a few of the popular attacks that have happened in the past and make a list out of it. Okay, please pay attention. Here is how hackers stole $80 million from the Bangladesh bank. $80 million from Bangladesh Bank. Can you believe that? 80 million. Please pay attention. When Ecuador Bank hacked, 12 million stolen in third attack on the SWIFT network. Am I clear? Third attack on the SWIFT link network. And can you believe when I say third attack on the SWIFT link network, imagine how big the attack would likely be, right? It might be a very, very huge attack. And when we are talking about the SWIFT link network, what happens is the attack, the quantity of the attack itself is so huge, right? When did this attack happen? Can you all please tell me which year did this attack happen? Can you please tell me which year did this attack happen? Excellent. The previous attack, can you tell me when was the previous attack happen? When did the previous attack happen? Excellent. 2016. This attack happened also in 2016. Now let us go to the next very interesting slide. Let us see what you are able to infer from this slide. Hackers steal $60 million from Taiwanese bank. Again, I repeat, hackers steal $60 million from Taiwanese bank. What is $1 million? 1 million is equal to 10 lakh dollars. $1 is close to 75 rupees. Imagine, it is probably 7.5 crores. 1 million is equal to 7.5 crores. Look at this, $60 million hacked. Which year did this attack happen? Please pay attention. Excellent. This attack happened in 2017. Am I clear? Okay, now please pay attention to this. Bank servers hacked to trick ATMs into spitting millions in cash. What does it mean? Imagine you and me are going to a bank ATM. You stand in the ATM and suddenly the ATM is spitting money on you. How interesting is that, right? And trust me, these are not exaggeration. These are attacks that have already happened in the past. Okay, already happened in the past. Look at this. UniCredit Bank suffers data incident exposing 3 million Italian customer records. Which year did this attack happen? Pay attention, please. Excellent. Please pay attention to this very interesting attack. Hacker tricked 3 British private equity firms into sending them $1.3 million. Wow. It's like, wow, isn't it? Which year did this attack happen? Excellent. Yes, this attack happened in 2020 and we are right now in 2021. And the chances are we think that we are not getting hacked. Okay, let me ask you one simple question here. How many of you think that you have got hacked earlier? Simple question. If you think that you have got hacked earlier, please type hacked on the chat option. If you think you have got hacked earlier, please type hacked. Okay, so out of 150 people, there are 3 people who think they have got hacked. Okay, so let me open up a website called look at this. There's a website called haveibeenpwned.com. I repeat, it's called haveibeenpwned.com. Okay. In this website, please enter in your email ID and click search to know if you have got hacked earlier. Okay. Please don't enter in any official IDs. Only use your personal IDs. Okay. So I am entering in my old email address to see if I've got hacked. I've used this for a very long time, so I'm seeing this. Let's see right now. Wow. For Deva, it says pawned in 6 websites. Wow, that's scary. See, I'm pawned in 14 websites. It means that, say for example, okay, let me ask you one quick question. How many of you have a Gmail account? How many of you have Facebook account? And how many of you have LinkedIn account? All the three. Okay, many of you have. Excellent. Now true answers, okay? How many of you have different accounts with the same password? Please, true answers only, please. See, I notice there are a lot of you who keep the same password for 2 or more accounts. Yes or no? Yes or no? It simply means that if I have access to one account, I also have access to your other account. Yes or no? Yes or no? You're correct. Look at this. Have I been pawn.com? This email address I used to register on that website. Okay. And interestingly, look at this linkedin.com. I use that email address. In May 2016, LinkedIn had 164 million email addresses and passwords exposed. Wow. It says the email address and the password from LinkedIn got hacked in May 2016. Am I clear? Yes or no? Now imagine an attacker who has my access to my LinkedIn's username and password. What are the chances that he tries the same password on my Facebook account or Gmail account? It gives him access. Yes or no? Are you all able to understand? Right? So look at this. Compromised data on Mashable, email address, IP address, partial, token, etc. MySpace, email address, passwords, and usernames. Right? Yatra.com. I don't know if you have heard of Yatra, online booking site like makemytrip.com. Right? My account from Yatra got hacked. Not mine. Entire Yatra's database got hacked. And they got hacked. Email addresses, names, password, phone numbers, also. Am I clear? Yes or no? Are you all able to follow what I'm saying? Excellent. Okay. So before we close for the day, how many of you want to do a live demo of how you can hack your own Wi-Fi networks? Okay, this is completely for research and educational purposes only. Okay, I'm just going to show you how you can hack your own network where you probably forgot your passwords. Okay, now I want you to please open up your command prompt. All of you are able to see something like this? Yes or no? Excellent. Now, I want you to type in a command called netsh. Enter. Do you see something like this? Please confirm. Please say NetSH. Excellent. Now Control C. Now I'm saying NetSH, WLAN, wireless LAN, WLAN, show profiles. Please pay attention. It is show profiles with S. Okay. How many of you are able to see the list of wireless network from your system? Please type it on your command prompt and please tell me how many of you are able to see this network. Excellent. Surya is able to see. All right. Please pay attention. Instead of profiles, remove the word S and say profile space. Okay. Now in the double quote, simply say a Wi-Fi network's name. I'm saying this is the Wi-Fi network's name in double quotes. Can you please do that? NetSH WLAN show profiles. Okay, I repeat. Someone is asking me to repeat, so I'll just repeat this. This is the first command. NetSH WLAN show profiles. Okay, it shows us all the wireless profiles. Now, instead of profiles, I'm saying profile space, double quote. I'm saying this wireless network name. Yes or no? How many of you are able to follow this? Excellent. Now, the last interesting thing is when you see here, do you see something called security setting? Security key equal to present? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, please type the same command with key equal to clear. Simple as that. Just add key equal to clear. That is all you have to do. See what happens. Does it the security setting have an interesting new field called the key content? What is this key content? Key content is simply your password, your wireless network's password. Yes or no? Are you all able to see this? Please confirm. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, I am just going to give you a small little command. I want you to type PowerShell on this command prompt. Type PowerShell from this command prompt. Do you all see something like this? Please confirm me. Excellent. Very simple. Okay, I'm closing it all again. I'm opening command prompt from my computer. It opens up like this. Now I'm just saying PowerShell. Simple as that, PowerShell. Okay, and say enter. Do you see this PowerShell's prompt? In this prompt, all you have to do is, I have sent you all a particular script on the chat. Yes or no? Have you all got the script that I've sent on the chat? Please type that script. Copy paste the script on your PowerShell. How many of you are able to copy paste this on your PowerShell? Please confirm you're all able to copy paste this on your PowerShell. Okay. Upon doing this, how many of you were able to see a file called vino-wifi.txt on your desktop? Please see if you're all able to see a text file on your desktop. Excellent. Now all you have to do is just open that txt file and please tell me what. Wonderful. You find the respective wireless network and its passwords, yes or no? Wonderful. So I'm glad that you are all able to do it by yourself. We're just merely following my small demo here. So, uh, I hope that you all had something that you could learn from this program. So, thank you everyone for being a very patient audience and listening me through completely. Any questions throughout the session, I would be happy to address. And I am going to be available there for some more time. In case you have any questions, I'd be happy to take. Thank you very much. I'm also dropping my feedback link on this chat option. In case you did like the session, I would request you to kindly please write a one-liner feedback. I personally review each of the feedback myself and I also do respond back. So thank you very much. You all have been a wonderful audience. Thank you very much. I place myself on mute. I'll also share the feedback link. In case any of you have questions, please unmute yourself and ask, or you can also post it on the chat option available.
Thank you very much, sir, to be a part of Conclave 21, sponsored by Manya Adayar. We have learned a lot after listening to your inspiration-filled speech. One of the ego's favorite path of resistance is to fill you with doubt. So participants are requested to clear your doubts with Mr. Vinod Sindil, sir.
Oh, wow. Sir, don't you get uh, digital eye strain after using too much of PC? Luckily, I have still not got that issue, but I don't know. I might steps system and also brightness wearing. So that's about it. How to find whether I'm using a website is secure or not? Please have an antivirus software installed in your system. Also, please don't go to arbitrary website of your own. Always use a HTTPS based website and make sure you use a Chrome add-on called the Site Advisor add-on. So it will keep telling you if you're looking at the right website or not. Thank you. Who really needs coding and programming skills? Our new education policy introduces coding to school students. Is it really appreciable? A lot of coding courses are available online, and this has become a booming business. So, who really needs coding and programming? Irrespective of who requires coding or programming skills, I personally believe when you are able to visualize something, right, and you're unable to give it life, right? Imagine you are a artist. You can just draw or pencil sketch in a paper. But imagine those animators who make those pencil sketch or painting get life as a 2D or a 3D model and actually act in a video, right? So it requires some skills to do that, right? Likewise, programming, whatever you imagine, right? If you want to bring it to life, you need programming skills. That is essential. For example, companies like Google, Gmail, Facebook, etc., they visualized something where they want to integrate people together in one place. That is the visualization, right? And how did they do that? They achieved that by the help of programming and coding, right? So I personally believe the world is full of fascinating problem waiting to be solved by people like you and me. And it is important that we have coding and programming skills to better capitalize on that. Is required programmer. Not everyone has that flair and has that interest, but yes, it definitely makes your work a lot more easier, especially when you want to do repetitive, monotonous tasks. How to keep your phone data secure? Is there apps to keep your data secure? There are many apps to keep your phone data secure. Especially, you can search for Avast. Avast is a popular free tool. Apparently, Android has by default has something called the Play Protect, which helps you to protect your own application by default. However, there are still techniques to bypass them, and hence I would strongly suggest you to please make sure do not install third-party applications from arbitrary websites. Okay, I am actually sharing you my feedback link and also my personal website link in case you would like to know a little more about me or get in touch with me for similar programs. What is your opinion about the latest white hat junior industry, sir? I'm calling this industry as I've heard a lot about being a scam. What's the point? Do kids need it? See, I personally think, okay, for your information, White Hat Junior is a part of Baiju, if I'm not wrong, right? And you know, Baiju is a huge company who promotes online e-learning programs, right? And obviously, do kids need it? It is definitely left to their opinion, but you should not force it on them, right? You should not force it on them. See, imagine a kid wants to create something, you know, kids have absolute thought process of no barriers. They don't have barriers at all. If they want, they imagine and they talk things that are impossible to create. But when they think of things without any barriers and they want to create that, they can only do that with the help of programming or coding, correct? So it is, I personally think it is very important to have programming and coding skills. But if you don't, it is okay. There are roles like managers, coordinators, etc., which are as important as programmers as well, right? So I personally think it will definitely be of help. RT Vignesh, where do I learn basic hacking from your top user? Drop in a message to me on the feedback. I'll respond to you on that. Sir, what do you think about the face recognition and fingerprint recognition scheme instead of using? Thank you, sir. Sir, this has already been tried in quite a few places, but apparently it is a very risky area to have such a authorization schema, authentication schema. Okay, the reason is, I'll tell you, face recognition and fingerprinting usually has a file stored on the local computer or local PC or local mobile device, right? There is a file in your Android device called the gesture.key, gestur, gesture.key, which has your fingerprint details stored in an encrypted format. Meaning, I get access to that encrypted file, I will be able to impersonate you. I will be able to change your fingerprint detail, or I can actually say I have pressed that particular fingerprint, right? So there is a way to circumvent. So I personally feel that especially for banking, you should not consider doing a face recognition or fingerprint thing totally right now. You should have a MFA. MFA is multi-factor authentication. There should not be only one modality of authentication. There should be one along with multiple supporting forms of modes of authentication. Sir, is there any possible way to hack our cameras? There are so many possible ways to hack cameras, and you can just do a Google, YouTube search, you will find a lot. There are many existing applications itself will do that. All right, so I think we are at the end of session, and thank you everyone for patiently listening through. You all have been a wonderful audience. I personally enjoyed being this program. The last 1 hour, you have been a wonderful audience. So in case you have any questions, feel free to reach me. Email is available on the website www.vinodsenthil.com. Right? All the very best and do very good. God bless. Stay safe, stay secure. Take good care. Bye-bye.
We